ਅਚੀਵਿੰਗ ਫॉर ਡੈਲਟਾ ਤੋਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਟਰਸਟੀ ਲਈ ਉਮੀਦਵਾਰ ਹਨ ਸੁਜੇ ਨਾਜ਼ਰਤ। ਆਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਏਜੰਡਾ, ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਕੂਲਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੁਜੇ ਨਾਜ਼ਰਤ ਦਾ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. So a little bit about yourself to our viewers. What do you do?
So I'm a 23-year resident of Delta. I've been owning my own IT company out of Delta for the past 20 years.
Right.
So long-time resident. Even though our company is based in North Delta, we've been very involved in the community throughout Delta, including the South.
Right.
I've just had a daughter 2 years ago,
Right.
and she's preparing to go to school. So I've been talking to lots of parents, finding out what's going on, and
Right.
I see that there are lots of issues that need to be addressed, and decided, well, now is the best time to try and
jump
get
into it.
involved,
Okay.
give back to the community, try
Right.
to make a difference, try to
Okay.
make Delta a better school district for all our
So
kids.
what do you feel when you have talked to the people? What are the issues which are coming forward or where you feel something needs to be done?
Right now, what we're hearing a lot about is that there seems to be a lack of communication between the trustees and all the stakeholders. That includes the parents, the educators, and even governments. There doesn't seem to be any communication. They seem to be invisible to a certain
Okay.
extent. A lot of teachers I spoke to said they didn't even know who their trustees were. They weren't aware that schools were assigned a specific trustee. So
Okay.
that was news to them.
Right.
They didn't even know what a trustee is supposed to do. And that's a concern. Parents too, they didn't know that there were trustees assigned to their schools.
Right.
They had no idea who they could talk to when they have problems. They would go to the principal or they would go directly to the school board offices, but they had no idea that they could actually turn to trustees to look into issues and try to resolve them for them and advocate for them.
Right. So is there another important issue which parents are also concerned about
Right.
is the easy availability of drugs.
Yes,
And even school areas are not safe.
right.
Now, what would be your priority on this particular aspect if you get elected? How will you address this issue?
So this is, as we all know, going to be a big issue, especially with the legalization of marijuana coming up. It is a very big issue. One of the things is, since I'm running with the slate Achieving for Delta, we want to work very closely with council and with the police officers to see what we can do. A lot of people have claimed that marijuana is a gateway drug, so this is a big deal. Kids may start experimenting with marijuana. What if they try to go into something further? And we know that there are big issues with gangs, especially in our neighboring city of Surrey.
Right.
And that's something we need to work very closely with the police and with council to make sure that our kids are kept safe in our schools, because safety is very important. I think the other thing is our council as well as our trustees have committed to working towards track and field upgrades. If
Right.
we're able to distract kids by giving them things like
Absolutely.
sports, getting them involved in things like that, that can divert their minds, keep them busy, and hopefully away from things like drugs. And that's going to be one of the priorities that we will be working for.
Well, that's an interesting point what you have touched, because of course if the children are diverted from by providing them something by which they can bank upon, definitely
Absolutely.
it will make a difference.
Yes.
So what are the other issues which if you get elected as a trustee, what would you tell to our viewers today as to how they should have some faith in you and your team that what you are saying you will do that?
One of the things we have heard is, again, parents feel that things are happening within the school district without their knowledge, and they want to play a part. Their kids are their lives,
Right.
and for them it's really important that they know they can turn to someone who will advocate for them, which is not happening right now. Things are changing in schools, curriculums are being brought in, resources are being brought into the schools, and they haven't been consulted, they haven't been asked their point of view. And that's a major issue, because sometimes it goes against their moral values, sometimes it's something that they're uncomfortable with. So I think this role of the school trustee is actually to help educate the parents as well,
Right.
with regards to what they're doing in the schools, and saying this is the plan of how we're going to educate your children. This is what we're teaching them,
Right.
just so the parents can also supplement that at home and continue to provide that education at home. And I think that's vital, because if the parents don't understand, then the kids are getting mixed signals, and then it's totally lost.
So do you assure the people, because as you know,
Yes.
people are losing faith from the politicians. It's during election times only, a lot of promises are made, but later on it becomes difficult even to approach the politician, even in these countries
Yes.
also now. So how do you make sure that and assure the public that what you are saying, you will stand for that?
So I can assure you about one thing. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and what I would expect from a school trustee
Right.
is what I would provide. And that means I am available to the public by email, by phone calls, and I will listen, because that is most important. Because right now, a lot of the school trustees that have been there for, some of them, decades. And they have stopped listening, and that's not good. We need people who will actually take the time and listen.
Right.
And that's what
So
I
you
would plan
feel
to do.
it's time for change now, the trustees need to be
Absolutely.
changed so that a
Absolutely.
younger generation comes forward and starts listening
People
to the
who actually have children in the system. Most
Right.
of the trustees currently do not have children
And
in the
on the
system.
ballot paper, under what name you will be there, and why should the people vote for you?
So under the ballot will be under school trustees. My name is Sujay Nazareth, and right under my name is the team Achieving for Delta. I'm hoping that everyone will look and vote for the entire Achieving for Delta team, because together we are all new, we are all fresh voices, we all have experiences, and we all have children within the system,
Right.
and we know what we need for our kids, and we know what the modern day parents are facing,
Right.
and we know how to deal with these things and try to make a better place for our kids.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for sharing
Thank
this
you very much,
information
Steve.
with our viewers, and we wish you best of luck for
Thank
today.
you very much.
Thank you.